Righto, in this little clip we're going to have a look at the Elite Ti2 unit from Lowrance, and we're just going to have a look at my local system. We'll try and find a few fish, but I really want to show you the picture that this unit returns. It's really good value for what it is, and it'll definitely put you on to fish. So I'm in my local system today, and the reason I probably know it so well is because I've run this unit for the last 6 months in here, and I've been able to map everything out. I've been able to find all the places where I like to fish. So I'll show you what comes up on the screen. I'll show you the page that I use, and yeah, we might even put a fish in the boat, but I generally just want to show you what this unit's about and what it can produce for you. Okay, so first up we're just going to create a page. So what I want to do here, you can run all your custom pages of what you like to run in wherever you're fishing. So we're going to add a page here, and what you can do is just drag down what you want. So I'll drag down the charts, sonar, traditional sonar, we'll go down scan, and we'll go side imaging. Okay, so this is generally what I like to use. Over here we'll just be able to do them how we want. So I like running the 3, and that's exactly how I like to run it. I'll have my down imaging here, my traditional 2D, my map, and then the side image down the bottom. So once I'm happy with that, I'll save that page, and there we go. So we've got our down imaging here, normal 2D, side imaging, and then mapping. So what we'll be able to do, we'll be able to scan. We can mark our fish on the side imaging, which will show up on your mapping. We can put a GPS mark on it, and we'll be able to see directly under the boat as well. So it's a very useful page. I run my side imaging at 25 meters. The system I'm in at the moment is generally 50 to 70 meters wide, so that'll cover both sides of the boat. So I'll have all aspects covered and be able to cover my ground, yeah, and see what's underneath there. So the general census is, when you turn up to a new place or a system that you're normally fishing, is you want to be able to cover as much ground as possible, see what's under the water, and hopefully be able to produce a few fish, find some rock bars, find the structure that the fish stick around. A little bit of fish coming through now. Yeah, and target them wisely so you can put a few more fish in the boat. Okay, when you have your pages set up, you'll have a menu system. So whatever's covered in the orange perimeter, you're down, like for this, for instance, the down imaging here is surrounded. That menu will be for that. So if I tap the side imaging, the orange perimeter comes around that. I'll be able to press the menu, and that'll be everything for that system. The charts, there we go, it changes again. 2D, gives you all your different aspects, and down imaging. We'll just have a quick look. If you want to change the color, if you're not happy with the color, if you want to just try a different color system, you can come into here, and there we go, you can change your colors. You got your blue, white, red. It really just comes down to personal preference. I like this color, and I also like the blue. It seems to show the best contrast for me. So we'll keep it on this color. We'll go back, swipe the menu out of the way, and there we go, we've got a full screen to use. You can also widen and shorten your side imaging, but like I said, this river is 50 meters wide, so I'm covering 25 meters each side, being able to pick up everything. Righto, let's get up there. We'll have a look at a few different places. We'll be able to show you a rock bar. I'll be able to show you a wreck, and we'll have a look at some lay down logs and everything, just so you've got an idea of what you're looking at when you're using this unit. Okay, so the first instance swaps we're doing, I know I'm coming up onto a rock bar here. So as you can see on the side imaging, we're moving around and there's a lot of sand. So what we're going to do, you'll see soon, we're just going to come up onto this rock bar. So this rock bar is going to come up on your port side, and we should be able to see all the rocks and lay down structure there. So I'll just give it a second. We've got a few fish coming up now on the bottom here, so you can see them mark up on the 2D, and we're just starting to get a little bit of rubble come up in here. You can also see the fish there on the down imaging. Righto, so we've got a nice clear run. We're probably doing about 6 knots, and you can see this rock bar starting to form here, and there we go. We can see a bit of structure coming up. So the rock bar's in 3 meters of water, and you can see the bottom coming up and down, and there's a few little fish sitting there. Nothing really worth targeting, but have a look at that. So what you'll see is little dark shadows behind the rocks. So if you can imagine a spotlight shining out to the side and hitting it, and then behind the rocks you'll see the shadow. There we go, we've got a bit more of a rock bar now coming up on the right hand side as well. And here we go, we've got some bait. So you can see on your traditional 2D sounder, it shows a lot more of a clump, whereas you get a lot more definition on your down imaging. So that's just a little bait school sitting on the bottom there. And a couple of larger fish, but not really worth targeting fish behind it. So they might be your brim or something like that. And here we go again. So we've got a much more clumped up area here, and then on the down imaging you can really see the separation there. That shows what's behind it. So there you go, that's a rock bar. There's nothing much on it, but generally it's always worth looking at and be able to target some fish off it. Okay, so here's a prime example of some bait schools and some fish coming up behind them. That's awesome. So they're chasing into it. I'm just coming up here, and there we go. Something's come up past this on the side imaging down here and throwing a shadow. As you slow down the boat and when you're stationary, everything seems to stretch out, so it looks a lot bigger than it is. So we'll keep sounding up, but that definitely looks like worth a go. A few fish on the bottom here, and yeah, more bait schools. So how good is this? You can see the bait school here, and look at the definition. We'll get in nice and close. Look at the definition there, and it really gives you an idea of what you're looking at. So traditional 2D is awesome, and there we go. Have a look at that. You see the bait school there, and then you got your fish behind it. So we'll set up a drift here, have a cast, and see if we can't catch something. This is just looking better and better. So everything seems to be below the boat in the middle of the channel, so I'll work a plastic or I'll work a vibe, and yeah, hopefully we can hook up to something. It'd be nice to be able to show you what I'm seeing on the sounder and actually putting something in the boat. However, that's not always the case, but we'll give it a red hot go. Okay, so another thing, when you've got your transducer set up, you should be able to get a good reading at speed. So I've added my overlay, I've put the speed up here in knots. So we'll watch this sounder and see how we go. So there you go, we got up to around 25 knots. That transducer's in the right spot and we're holding the whole way through. So it's very good to be able to get a reading on your 2D and your down imaging at that speed in case you come across some structure you want to go back and check. Awesome. Sitting at 3 knots here. I've got a mark coming up here, and this is a wreck. Should come up absolutely awesome. Here we go. Look at that, you can see some fish sitting up in behind that wreck there. The wreck's laying down, you can see the shape of the hull, and there's some nice fish sitting in behind that. So I have a spot lock here. I've got it marked on my sounder. Actually, what we'll do, I'll just quickly turn around and we'll go back over it so you can have another look. But how cool is that? Just to be able to see a nice wreck. And that's what happens when you just spend the time in any system, whether it's a new one or old. And here we go, we'll go back over this wreck on another one, another angle, and really suss your system out, and you'll be able to see what's there. So we're just coming up to it now. Look at that. You can actually see the shadow, the hull sending out. You can see all the white dots behind it, all the fish on the 2D down imaging. So on that pass it showed a bit different, but there are some fish laying around here. So we'll have a bit of a look, a bit of a cast, see if I can't pull something off it. Okay, so I'm just going to get off the throttle a bit, and we've got a couple of marks coming up here. So if you get a lot of floods in your area during the summer, it always lays down some new structure. So this one, I'll just go forward a bit and be able to come over top of it. It's a large tree stump, so we'll be able to go over it in a second and get a clear reading on what we're actually looking at. But these are key places that can hold fish, whether it be dewies in the winter or your mangrove jack or barra in the summer. And just coming up now a little bit here on the right hand side, so you can see this whole tree, it's fallen down, and you can actually see the shadow from that tree. So what we'll do, we'll circle back around, I'll get back on top of it, and we'll get it up on the down imaging here. So here we go, we'll come back up over top of it in a second. Look at that. So that's perfect. You've got your tree stump coming up like that, as you can see on your down normal 2D down imaging. So that's a tree that's fallen down and all the roots are up in the air. So key area for mangrove jack at times, barramundi, anything like that, and that's just in the middle of the river. So it pays to keep an eye while you're scanning along, and you can find some key structure like that one. So nothing on it today, but always worth a check when you're running up and down your system. A few little secret spots are always handy to have up your sleeve. Well, there you go. There's a bit of a rundown of what I look at when I'm using my Elite Ti2 sounder. Great sounder, affordable, and really is just plug and play. Put it on, run your transducer, get the transducer right, and away you go. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.